Black women need to stay out of black men's business. Black women need to stay out of black men's business. I just, black women just, they think they have the right to be in black men business, and they don't. And black men, they need to put them in their place. That's what it is. Because black women think they're macho. They think they have their shit together. Especially independent black women. And it's so weird because they be quick to say, they'll be quick to tell a black man to stay out of black women business. But when it comes to black men business, they want to be a part of it. That's weird to me. Black women need to stay out of black men's business. That's a must. And black men have to do a better job to protect their business from black women. It's not meant for black women to be in black men business. It's not meant for that. This is why relationships are ruined, marriages, family. And I believe this. This is why black women have a lot of black male friends based off black men business. That's why. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Because see, black women, they want to be in black men business so bad to get like an upper hand, to dictate shit, to voice their opinion and their 2 cents, knowing that black men's business don't concern them. Because see, black women have a hard time to just stay to themselves. Like they have a hard time to mind their business instead of getting in black men's business. You know what it mean. You know exactly what it mean. That's like if you're that's like, you know how you tell your kids stay out of grown folks' business? It's the same shit when it comes to black men business. And black men out there, y'all need to start telling black women to stay out of our business. Already explained it. If you don't get it, that's on you. Or you can come join the conversation, but you don't want to do that. It's the same thing when you tell a child to stay in a child's place, to stay out of grown folks' business. People can't comprehend shit these days. It's the exact same shit when grown people tell a child to stay in a child's place and stay out of grown folks' business. It's the same. Black women need to stay out of black men's business. Your daddy have issues. Your mother have issues. It is very important. And black men just, they have to protect their business at all costs. You don't have to tell black women everything. You don't. You don't have to tell your woman everything because that's the key. They want to stay in your business because they always say, you can tell me anything. You can open up your, like, they always say, you can open up to me no matter what. And that's the trap. That's the absolute trap. Protect your peace, protect your business. Black women don't deserve. Yup.
Even though I'm white, bro, I'll just agree with you that black women should stay out of your business, bro.
Appreciate it. You,
Yeah, bro. Tell them to stay the fuck away, bro. Don't need that energy.
facts.
Don't want to hear all that shit.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because all they are is a bunch of fucking cows. Ain't that right?
You said it, not me. But
Yeah, they sound like. There they are right there. I can hear them. I can hear
wow.
them.
Yo, do you think they should stay out of black men's business?
Yeah, they should. I just think that they need to stay out of everybody's business. They always are sticking their nose up in everybody's business.
That's a
They're
fact.
they're always getting into shit. And never, I will say this, when I've seen conflicts happen, it has happened because some black woman starts the fight. Seen that before. Then they got to stay out of business, men's business, because they don't think rationally. Facts.
Yes, sir. It is a fact. They stay in men business just in general. It don't matter if it's in their workspace, relationships, marriages,
And they're never
parenting.
happy.
Right. They're never happy. They're never satisfied.
It's always got to be mad about every fucking thing, about everybody. But no, I just wanted to come up here and agree with you to let everybody know.
Thank you so
that-
much, bro.
yeah, no problem, bro. I see you.
I just followed you. You can
Yeah.
still speak on it if you want.
No, bro, I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'm going to go keep on saving the world another way.
Appreciate it.
See you later, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Peace. Exactly what that man just said. And black women always sticking their nose into other people's business. And it's not just about black men business, it's just men as a whole. This is why black women think they can do everything that a man can do. This is why black women always do research, they always study and shit, they always it's like they study other people's marriages, relationships, and parenting without them tripping off their own. They just stay in other people's business. They always gossiping. They don't know when to shut the fuck up. They don't know when to be happy, be satisfied, be content. They always want more. and it's frustrating. Don't need to pray for me. Don't need to pray for me. Pray for black women. And I love black women, for the record.
Good evening, brother.
What's up?
Yeah, I seen a comment somebody said all women. That's the only comment I really got a problem with. Here's the problem with that comment is that we the only ones having this conversation with our women or about our women, right? The woman that said, I agree, this is why I'm engaged to a white guy, just proved that point. It just proved that point. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Because the white woman is not saying anything necessarily negative about the white man and why she's dating a black man. She's the white woman is not having that conversation. Oh man, white man is this, white man is that, da 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 da. Right? Here's the problem with black women. Is first of all, they're not traditional anymore, and they have a problem with the traditional relationship. And I heard a woman or had a discussion with a woman that says, well, it's not about a traditional relationship, it's a lifestyle relationship. And I was like, then the light bulb clicked on. Oh, that's why you want a man that's already established, right? And most of them gonna say, I'm established, I'm established. And, look, I'll believe them, whatever they say, right? My point is this, is the reason why we are the only group of people that's having this conversation with our women is because other groups of people around us, they have traditional relationships. They've been with some of the women they've been with since high school, right? And
Facts.
they built their whole life together. So the relationship was not about what you can offer to me, it's about where we can get together. Right? We come in with our 2 pennies, rub our 2 pennies together. What can we make out of it? And that's why those relationships last longer. That's why all of those relationships they have. We have the highest divorce rates. We have the highest non-relationship rates. Period. Like our men are not in relationships. We're primarily single. And all of that has to do with black women having this idea, the feminists put it in their head that they can do it by themselves. But those same feminists, they got a white man at home. I don't understand this. Right? And they'll sit up here and talk to these white women about their relationship with these white men. And none of these white women is saying the things that black women are saying about us. Well, the black women gonna say, well, you're not doing enough. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. But the same feminists and white men that you are marrying created the condition of the problem that you have with black men. The lack of jobs, the lack of stability in the community, stuff like that.
Tyler, like mute your
All of
mic.
that,
Tyler, like mute your
all
mic.
of that is a product of white colonization. Period.
Wait, what are you talking
Period.
about?
So
Tyler,
don't
like,
come up here and interrupt me. Let the host stop me, and
right,
then he'll
right.
let you
Tyler, mute
speak.
your mic. Tyler, mute your mic and wait until he's finished.
Well, I don't even know what we're talking about. What are we talking about?
Well, that's what I mean. You need to listen then instead of coming up here interrupting people if you don't know what the hell's going on. It's
Yeah,
insane.
Tyler. Tyler, like mute your mic and
Damn,
wait
bro, chill
until.
out, bro. Why you acting like a bitch?
Nobody got to chill with
Whoa,
you.
whoa, yo, Tyler, Tyler,
Damn,
Tyler,
bro.
Tyler,
Man, I
Tyler,
don't
Tyler,
care about
Tyler.
what he say.
Mute your
He
mic.
can
Bro,
say what
Mute
he
your
chill,
can
mic,
chill
say.
Tyler.
out, bro. You
Tyler,
acting
mute
like
your
a
mic.
female right now.
Tyler, mute your mic.
You
You
Mute your
a
just
whole
mic.
came up here
female,
to
bro.
kill the
You
vibe of
yelling
this
at me and shit.
conversation.
I'm not
That's it.
yelling. I'm fine.
Tyler, mute your mic. Mute your
Why you
mic.
gotta mute my mic? I'm trying to listen.
Well, I'm not. No, like you can listen while muting your mic.
I can listen while it's not muted.
But you're interrupting. Let him finish.
I'm
Look,
not saying
and
nothing.
see, this is the white man that these black women is going to
Bro,
support.
what the
You
fuck
know
are
what I'm
you
saying? These
bro,
white
you out there
dudes
shit
that think
bullshit,
they
bro. You
can
don't even know what the fuck you
dominate the
talking about.
conversation, think they can dominate. He would never said nothing that like that to my face, man. Like, this is the crazy thing. He want to try to trigger me, but like, you would never say
I'm
that to
pretty
my
sure
face.
you're triggered, bro. You're already triggered, bro.
That's exactly how I dealt with these motherfuckers on the internet. Because when I walk outside, no white person ever say nothing to me. They cross the street on me. Man, come
Bro,
on. You
you're the
on
one
the
who's
street,
like
you scared. On the street, you
you're the
crossing
one
the
who's like
street. On
fucking
the
I
street, you
was
taking
doing
a
something, bro. What are you
taxi
talking about?
around the corner to
Ain't
the
nobody scared of
7-Eleven just
nobody, bro.
because you
What the
don't
fuck
want
are
to
you
see
talking
black
about?
people.
Ain't nobody
Like,
Wait,
come
scared of
wait,
on,
wait,
nobody,
man.
wait,
bro.
wait, wait,
I
wait,
grew up
wait,
around
wait,
black
wait,
people,
wait,
bro. What
wait,
the fuck
wait,
you
wait,
talking
wait,
about?
wait, 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 Tyler,
No, what the
relax.
fuck you talking
The
about?
topic, listen, listen. Like the topic is black women need to stay out of black men's business. But
Right.
cheek like chickpea, you
I
can
know
still go. Like if you
he can
still
still
like
go
if you still
because
like
he was talking before me. I get that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
chickpea, like you still want to speak, right?
I'll wrap it up real quick. So, as you can see, right, black women are completely delusional, right? They how they argue that taxpayers subsidize corporations, which is true. Taxpayers subsidize the shit out of corporations in the forms of billions and billions of dollars in tax cuts and stuff like that. The Democratic Party specifically subsidized black women, starting with the whole welfare system when they didn't allow the woman to collect benefits if there was a man in the house. It was blanketly like that. It didn't even matter if the man had a job or not. If the woman was seeking benefits, she had to get rid of that man, right? And then if you look at the course of the past 60, 70 years, what did the Democratic Party do and the feminist movement do? They isolated the black woman from the black man through these subsidies, government jobs, through all. Look, the black unemployment rate went up for like 3% in the past year or so. Why people gonna say, oh, because of Trump? I'm not trying to argue the politics. I'm just this is the point I'm trying to make. Most of those government jobs were DEI jobs and black women. Black women.
Facts,
Okay?
facts.
So the Democratic Party set this up. They did this on purpose. Now you got all these black women running around. I'm independent. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I don't need a man and this, that, and the other. But they'll go get a white dude, right? A white dude that set up here in incarcerated you, brought all of these illegal substances and pews into your communities because it wasn't black people that was trafficking the stuff into our community. It was the white biker gangs, the Hell's Angels, and the Banditos, and all these other motherfuckers. These white motherfuckers, these criminal organizations that were working with the cartels, working with the Mexicans, working with the Venezuelans, working with the Ecuadorians, working with the Colombians to traffic that stuff into our community. So from the gate, they alienated the black man and black woman with benefits and then subsidized them with jobs that they wasn't even qualified for, right? These black women talking about they the most educated demographic on the planet, but 2 generations of kids that have been raised by these single black women that is so educated they can't even read. How is the damn black woman the most educated demographic on the planet, and she makes up 1% of the total of teachers in
Damn,
this country?
damn.
It makes no sense.
And
Your
see,
kids running around crazy. And then you got to have some white dude come up here and call names and do all this, that, and that. Like, go on somewhere, man. We having an intellectual conversation here. I'll land there.
Tyler, great point. Tyler, what's your take on it? On what he said?
Uh, hang on. I'm trying to find something. My bad. Hang on. I'm trying to find something. I gotta find something. I'm looking for my part of my microphone. It's like my siblings gone away
Well,
or
like
something.
mute your mic, like when you're finding it. Like mute your mic. Okay. Well, I feel like black women they always want to dictate shit. Like they want to be respected, but also use their woman card. So when a man checking them and correcting them, they always use, "Oh, you raising your voice," and it's like they always, I don't know, man. They're just stressful as fuck, to be honest with you. And this is why I can't do business with a black woman. I just can't do business with women in general because they can always say he's harassing me, he's looking at me funny, he's making me uncomfortable, all this other bullshit. And they always think emotionally. They never think logically. They always think emotionally. And they always think sexually as well. So it's just women, they're just fucking up
Right.
society,
Look,
man.
this is what the feminists move. These white liberal feminists. This is what they've done, bro. Like to a point where you can't even look at a woman. Like I'm a fucking man. Excuse my French.
No, like you can
I'm a
cuss. You can
man. What are you
cuss.
talking about? You know, and they created that, man. So even if you go to the gym, you have these women in here. They, you know, how they dress in the gym. They athletic, nice bodies, and everything. Like, so you don't want me? Like, what do you? Because of what you're saying is I should go against my own nature, right? Because you're offended every time I look at you. You know, I'm a
Facts.
man. What do you the wolves, man? If we was wolves and the women act like that, she'd get kicked out of the pack.
Facts. And black women, how arrogant they are, it's like what you just said, Chick P, like what you just said. Us as straight men, we have a right to look at an attractive woman. And they think that is weird. They think that we staring at them, making them uncomfortable. And they're taking our eyes for granted. God blessed us with the eyes for a reason. It's for a reason. And I have that right to look at you. I have that right. If I wanted to, like as a straight man, as a straight American man, I have a right to approach you, to talk to you. And if I choose to touch you in a way, that's my right. But as a respectful straight man, I'm gonna look. Regardless is I'm gonna look. And I'm gonna try to talk to you. But these black women today can't do it. Tyler, like let me know if you like find something that you're looking for. But TR, hey,
Hey,
No,
I when I joined up, it took the prompt away.
it took what away?
The prompt, your question,
Oh,
I put it in like a small box with a bunch of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beautiful BLK women. I don't know what it says.
it says black women need to stay out of black men's business. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, like, why do they need to stay out of black men's business?
We already talked about it. What's your take on it?
I just came into the panel, so I don't know what you talked about.
I mean, well, what do you think about that? Do you think black women should stay out of black men's business?
It depends if you're in a relationship with them or not.
So you think it's okay for black women to be in black men business?
If you're dating them, yes. Just as I think that it is for YT women in YT men's business. Like, if that's somebody that you're dating, whether it's mixed race or anything like that, you should be in your partner's business.
I'm gonna stop you right there. For one,
I already stopped. Go on.
for one, there's no such thing as partnership in a
There is
relationship.
actually, but okay.
Wait, there's not.
Oh, okay.
Two, it's required for men to be in their women business, but it's not required for women to be in their man's business. There's a difference.
Where is the requiredness coming from?
It's a man's world, correct?
Is it?
You know what's up. Yeah, it is.
Well, that's your point of view.
No, that's a fact.
Oh, it is. All right. So where do those facts come from?
It comes from man, the power of man.
So that's
Yeah.
not a fact. That's your opinion.
No. I'm gonna tell you the facts. I'm gonna tell you why.
You already
tell you
just
why.
explained to me that's not a fact.
I
That's your
understand
opinion.
I understand that you're a white woman. I get it, but check this
Okay,
out.
so you're not going to be able to tell me that it's a
am.
fact. You're going
But
to
you're
be
cutting me
able
off.
to explain me. You're
No.
going to be able
No.
to explain to me your
you
thoughts
why.
in your personal
I'm telling you
opinions.
why that it's a man's world. If you
It's not.
sit back,
It's not. That's
if
your
you sit back,
opinion.
relax. If you sit back, relax, and let me
That's your
work.
opinion.
It's a facts.
I'm going to
Now,
listen to your opinion, but it's not
now,
facts.
the reason why it's a man's world, the power of man.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Man, correct.
But keep going.
I ain't even started yet. If you just shut the hell up and relax, madam.
That's your opinion.
Now, as I was saying before, for the 10th time that I was being interrupted, the power of man wrote the Bible,
Opinion.
the alphabets, they created
Opinion. Again,
numbers,
go on.
they created numbers, they created the image of Jesus for fucking
You're making
God's
me yawn
sakes.
because this is all
No,
your
no, no,
opinion.
no, 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 no. This is why it's a man's world.
It's your
We created rules and
opinion.
laws. We created rules and laws for you to
It's your
follow,
opinion.
for you to obey. That's a fact.
Boy,
It's a man's world. We're the
where are
reason.
the facts
Men
coming
are the
from?
reason. Men are the reason.
Please,
Men.
please tell me your
I'm telling you
facts.
the facts. These are the facts. You're
Right,
not
but where are your
listening.
facts
You're
coming
not
from?
listening. These are the
I am
facts.
listening. I want to
You're
know where you're
not.
getting your facts from.
You're dismissing me. And if I was
Tell
your
me where your
man,
facts are coming from.
if I was your man and we was having this conversation,
Boy, you can't tell me where your facts are
I would
coming
be
from. Yes or
I
no?
would be
Yes or
politely
no?
whipping you. I would be politely putting my hands
Yes
on
or
you.
no?
Listen. You're not
Oh,
listening.
I'm not going to listen. You can't provide me with
Go ahead,
facts.
go ahead, go
Bye.
ahead. Ask your question. Ask your naive question. This white bitch just left my shit. Disrespectful hoe. This disrespectful white hoe.
I could give you a modern example.
Right.
In
I just did.
in Israel,
That's how they are.
when a boy turns 13, he has what? He has a bar mitzvah, right? And what happens during that ceremony is a ceremony that he makes his obligation to the Jewish law and blah blah blah. But it's also this man transitioning from a child to a man. In that household, that 13-year-old has more rank than a woman at that point, because he is a man now. And this was actually the case in most ancient societies, because 13 what is around puberty. We become men at puberty. We're not teenagers. We are men at puberty, or once we start becoming 13, 14, 15, 16, what they want to classify as our teen years. But in the Israeli society, that young man at 13, he becomes a man. His mother has to listen to him just like she has to listen to his father.
Nah, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
There ain't no understanding what I'm saying.
But
That's exactly how the Jewish household works.
No, not every Jew is religious.
Well, okay, if they secular, fine, man. Look, stop. Stop with all this. We're talking about a society of culture that's been around for what, 70 years, right? We'll give them that much.
Not every
It's
Jew
been
is
around for
religious,
70
bro. Not
years.
every Jew is
And
the
you've
same.
been doing that for 70 years. Stop coming here talking about, oh, well, there's a couple of them that don't do it and try to leave out the fact
It's more than a
that their
couple.
whole culture is based
Look
on
up
it,
that statistic.
regardless
The
if there's
majority, the
secularism in their
majority is based
culture.
on it, Tyler. The majority is based on it.
Wrong. Look up the statistics.
Okay, Tyler, you
Every Jewish boy
They're
has a
Jewish.
bar
They're
mitzvah.
Jewish. They're
Shut
Jewish.
up.
They're Jewish.
Shut up.
They're Jewish ethnically, not religiously. There's
what,
a
Tyler?
difference.
Hey, host, didn't
A
I
lot of
say
the- a lot
Israel?
of the
Didn't
Jews-
I say
A lot of
Israel?
the Jews
Facts.
are
He did say
atheists.
Israel
anything
A lot of
first.
the
about
Jews
He
are
did say
ethnicity?
atheists. A lot of
he
the
did.
Jews are atheists and don't even believe in God. So what are you talking about?
Whatever. They still have bar mitzvah. I don't care what you
Yeah,
say.
they. I don't
And
get
they're
your
still
point.
all required to go into the military
There's a lot of
to
countries
serve.
that do that.
So shut up.
There's a lot of countries that do that. There's a lot of countries that do that. What's your point?
Point is to the woman that wants, because you sounded like the woman now, trying to push the woman agenda that she
Because
don't
these
have to
stupid
listen to the
guys-
man.
these stupid
And
guys-
we know in societies
stupid-
all over this world,
these
once a
stupid
boy
guys think
becomes
that
a
they're
man,
entitled.
his mother got to give him the respect that she give his father.
Wrong.
Like, what are you
These stupid
talking
guys-
about?
These stupid guys think that they're entitled to whatever life throws at them. That's
Nobody ain't. Oh, so let's talk about white tea supremacy then. How your ass feel entitled since you
Ooh,
won't
this
talk about
great.
entitlement?
There's no
Let's
such
talk
thing
about
as
it.
white
Let's talk
supremacy.
about it.
Yeah,
What?
okay.
Not right now. There's no such thing as white supremacy.
That's true. Right now, no, it don't exist because
Yeah,
your
it
main
used to
guy,
exist.
your main guy, Donald Trump, is working for somebody else, not
Oh,
your ass.
I'm not a Trump supporter.
I bet you not a Trump supporter.
I'm not
I
a Trump
bet you
supporter.
not. I'm a Trump supporter.
I'm
We got a
definitely-
whole gang
Yeah,
of
I
black
can tell
people
you
that
are, buddy.
support Trump right now.
I can
Yes,
tell you
sir.
are, man. I can tell you are. I can definitely tell you are.
Yeah, because none of the illegal substances coming into my community. The cartels is on
Hopefully-
notice
Yeah,
right
thank
now.
God.
They on notice right now.
Look,
What are you
just because
talking
I'm not-
about? As
just
long
because
as
I'm-
long as we were being destroyed, as long as the Mexicans was shipping that shit into our community, you're fine with that. That's the
Nope.
problem with you liberals. This is the problem with you liberals. That's why you fight for these motherfuckers. That's why you out there protesting for these motherfuckers. Because they was helping you destroy our community, and Donald Trump put an end to that shit.
Wrong.
Tyler,
I'm not a cartel supporter. I'm not a Kamala Harris supporter. I'm not a Joe Biden supporter. I'm not any of them. I don't support any of them because they're all fucked up. You can
So
go
what's
ahead
your-
and support the cult Trump thing or whatever, but I'm not.
So what's your overall take on what he said about
No,
Israel?
I agree with him about the cartel stuff. I believe that shit's fucked up too. Yeah, they came to our country and they fucked shit up with the whole drug shit, bringing heroin, bringing in cocaine and everything, bro. They fucked up everything, and I thank God Trump actually went and did something about it, and actually, like him and the Mexican army killed that one El Trumpo, whatever the fuck his name is. I agree with that, but I'm not like a whole huge. I'm not a Trump supporter like all the way type shit.
But Tyler, you got what's your take on black women need to stay out of black men's business?
Well, I don't know if I can speak on that, but like,
Well, just in general, okay, do you feel like
women
do
need
you
to stay
feel
in
like
the men's
women need to stay out of men business?
Right. It depends on what it is. It depends on what
No. It don't depend. So
Well, hold on, let me
so
get
you
my
think?
opinion.
Go ahead.
Well, hold
go
on,
ahead.
let me get my opinion. Yeah,
You're right. Go ahead.
I think it depends on what it is. I think it depends on if it depends on what it is, but it definitely depends on whether you're in a relationship with the female or not. Because if I'm just talking to some girl or to some lady or whatever on the street or something, like I don't care. Like we're not gonna agree on shit. But like if I'm with my girl or whatever, I might be more apt to like maybe believe what she says, depending on what it is. But I'm also not gonna let no girl like bully me type shit.
I think the prompt is getting at this is that how black women have been the primary face of the black community the past 70 years. I don't think nobody will argue with that.
Well, what do you
The
mean?
point, but they've been crying about us not being leaders. I was getting to that point. That's what I mean. They've been crying
Well,
about how
there's a
we're
whole bunch
not.
of black men leaders.
Let me finish. Let me finish my thought. They're crying about us not being leaders. Okay, this is what we're saying. If you want us to be leaders, you have to stay out of our business. You have to stop trying to be us in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? And let us lead. And for me, that's what would ultimately boil down to in this modern time is that, hey, if I'm gonna have this relationship with this black woman and she want me to lead, her being in my business is this. Okay, this is what being in my business is that if I'm doing everything I can to support this household, given all, because she has to understand all the conditions that are against me in this world, regardless of what anybody say. They want to say racism don't exist no more. They want to say this don't exist no more, that don't exist no more. But if you're a black man, you walking in a black man's shoes, you know you have obstacles that other people don't have to
That's not
overcome
true, by the
that
way.
you have every day.
That's not true.
Let him
Whatever.
finish, Tyler. Let him
That's not true.
finish. Let him finish.
Anyways, so the black woman has to come into whatever type of relationship it is, even business or friendships or this, that, and the other. And if you looking for me to be a leader and be the man, then support me, right? Give me advice, even criticism. That's fine. Okay. But as a black man, I have to be allowed to be, first of all, because I think the fear is that the black woman, if she give up any freedom to us, that we're going to make a mistake, right? We're going to take advantage of her, or it's not going to work out. She already have this fear in her head that if I get with this black man, that something is not going to work out. But you never even gave the relationship a chance to see where it would go in the first place. I have to come into this relationship 100% built already,
Facts.
right? To me, that's not that's something we can't build a relationship on that, because if we already achieve the goal individually, because this never happens in a white household. You have a poor white woman with a poor white man, and then all of a sudden they got a corporation. This is what happens in all of these other communities.
That's not true.
But with us,
That's not true.
Tyler, like, let him finish, and then you can
shut up, because then I have
counter
to go into
your
the numbers and
disagreement.
break it down to them how there's 300 some million white people in this country and there's only 44 million black people in this country.
That's
So
definitely
you
true.
cannot say it's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true neither. There's
That's not
not 300 million white people in this country.
No, there's not.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Because even if you count because I'm not just talking about a motherfucker from Europe or Irish or French or some bullshit like that, because the Hispanics classify themselves as 70% white in this country. So the 60, it's true. Don't tell me it's not true. I know the statistics, motherfucker.
That's not true. That's not true.
Lying.
That's not true.
They do, motherfucker. Even on that job application, they ask you, are you white and or Hispanic?
Yes, and or Hispanic.
And most of them, 70% of them say yes, they are white Hispanic.
No,
white Hispanic. If you go to Argentina, the motherfuckers are white.
Wrong.
One mic at a time. One mic at a time. Tyler, if you like disagree with that,
there's
then
different
counter
columns. There's white, black American, or black, whatever it is, African American, and Spanish heritage or Latino, whatever you want to call it. That's white, that's black, and that's all, and indigenous, and Latino or Latino, whatever. That's different columns. That's not all the same as white. What are you talking about?
Bro, on every census, dude, you have the white. And then they have that question, are you white Hispanic? And then they
No, that's
list
not
the
true.
Hispanic
That's not. No,
countries
they don't.
where
No,
the
they don't.
Spaniards, hold
No,
up,
they
the
don't.
Spaniards invaded, because these are the white
They
Hispanics,
don't,
which are the
bro. They don't
majority of the
ask that.
motherfuckers
They
here.
don't ask that, bro. The white Hispaniards, what that you're talking about, invaded in like the 16, 17, 1800s, and then they all moved out.
Still white. You think they changed?
Yes, they did, bro, because they integrated with the Mexicans and Latin America.
What is he talking about? The Mexicans are white, motherfucker. What are
No,
you
they're
talking
not.
about?
No, they're not. What are you talking about? They're all. Oh, why does
Bro,
everybody
hey,
call him
host.
brown?
Oh, okay, host. I'm finna stop talking to him.
Everybody calls
Look
him
it up.
brown.
Look it up, host.
Everybody calls him brown.
If you look up
Everybody
the
calls him brown, bro.
demographics
Everybody calls
in
him brown.
Colorado, I'm in Colorado.
Everybody calls him brown.
If you look up the demographics in Colorado and Google how
What?
many
Why are you talking about
Hispanics
Colorado, bro?
identify as white in
Why are you talking about
Colorado,
Colorado,
it's going to
bro?
say 72%.
Ain't wrong. Bro,
It's not wrong. Look it up right now.
They're all indigenous
I bet
mixed with,
you probably ain't
they're all
even got a
indigenous mixed
laptop
with
in front of you.
Spaniards. They're
You
all
probably ain't
indigenous.
even got a
They're
damn
all
laptop in
indigenous mixed
front of
with
you.
Spaniards.
You on that old
They're all
busted up
indigenous. Learn
ass
your history.
phone.
Learn
You
your
on that
history.
busted up
Learn
ass
your
phone
history.
trying
Learn your
to
history.
fight for your
Learn
white
your
Hispanic
history. Learn your
brothers.
history. They're all
You're
mixed with the
fighting for your
Spaniards.
white Hispanic
Learn your
brothers. I
history.
get it.
Learn your
I
history.
get it, because all y'all white anyway. So I
That's
get it.
not true. Most of them are indigenous, actually.
They not indigenous. They mestizo. If you look up their history and go back in their history, yes, it was some indigenous people in Mexico, but they wiped out all of them.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
Yes.
So hold up. How did they have a mixture with them to enough to where they still consider themselves indigenous if the Spaniards wiped them out? Look at the story of Montezuma. What did Cortez do to Montezuma? They wiped out 350,000 people in one day. What are you talking about?
Where? What indigenous did they wipe out?
Do you know the history of Montezuma?
They didn't extinct
Google
them.
Montezuma
I know
then,
Montezuma.
motherfucker.
They didn't extinct them. What are you talking about, bro?
Did I say they extinct them? Did I
said they
say
wiped them out.
that
You said they
they
wiped them
extinct
out.
them? I
You said they
said
wiped them
that
out.
it was not enough of them to mix with the Spaniards to
But
where the Mexicans
did,
today
bro.
can
What are you
consider
talking
themselves
about?
indigenous. That's why they became mestizo first, before they even fucking was
all mixed with
Mexicans.
Spaniards.
They was mestizos, which means they was the indigenous motherfuckers that was mixing with the Spaniards.
Yeah.
And then after the Spanish-Mexican War, that's when Mexico was created, dumbass.
Actually, it was already created before then. But okay.
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
It
You
was
don't know
created.
shit.
It was created.
So
way
Tyler,
before that, bro.
so Tyler, you don't agree with his sources? You don't
I don't
agree
know what
that
you're talking about. Mexico had their independence in 1936. They lost to the Alamo in 1921, I think.
now what source is that?
It's the sources of everybody you can say, that people who fought in the Mexican and American War and everything else.
Because
Did I say American? I said Spanish. This when the people
Spaniards were there for
freed
like
themselves from
400
Spain.
years.
That happened in the early 1800s. What are you talking about?
That's what I just said. I said 1821.
No, you didn't. You said 1936.
Nope. And I said 1836. The Texas Mexican Revolution.
You don't know what you talking.
Whatever the hell I was talking about. They got their independence in 1836, and but before that, they were free from the Spaniards. The Spaniards left in like 1821 or something.
Did I just say that? Motherfucker,
Yeah,
you can call
yes,
it
we
a
both
war
agree.
in 1836, but if they left in 1820, that means that war had already started. What are you talking about? They were already fighting.
Okay, yeah, we agree. Congratulations. All right, but they weren't like white.
Bro, they are white. When you watch the Mexican channels, I got cable. I see the Mexican channels all the time.
Congratulations, me too.
Who is on TV? It is the white Spaniard type people that's
Oh,
on TV.
what are
They
you talking?
practice the same
White
colorism.
Spaniard what?
They practice the same colorism as they do in Argentina, the same colorism in Ecuador. The Ecuadorians, right? They have more of an indigenous stock
That's
in
where Spain.
Ecuador. But who is
That's
the
where
leaders?
Spanish came
It
from.
is the
Spanish
white
came from Spain, bro. I don't know what to
Spaniards
tell you.
that are the
Spanish came from Spain.
leaders.
The
Shut
Spaniard
up, man.
culture came
Shut
from
up.
Spain. Spanish culture came from Spain. I don't know what to tell you.
Europe. That's Europe, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You're all white.
Okay, so.
That's his
You're
point.
all
That's his
white.
point.
What are you talking
No.
about?
He's like saying like we're all
No,
the
because you're
same.
trying to separate Spain
Well, then what are
from
you talking
the
about, bro?
UK.
What are you talking about? Yes,
In Spain,
if you don't know
isn't
that there's
Spain part
if
of
you don't know
the
that there's a
European
difference,
Union?
if you don't know that there's a difference between
If I'm not
Spain
mistaken,
and England, and
isn't Spain part of the European Union?
if you don't know
Yes,
that there's a
Spain
difference
is part of the
between
European
Spain
Union.
and
So
England, then
Spain
I
has
don't know what to
never
tell
been
you.
different from
You don't
any
know
other
history.
white person on the European continent.
There's a difference between Spain and England.
No, it's not. No, it's not, sir.
Oh,
No,
there's
it's
not.
not,
They don't
sir.
speak a different
Because
language.
all
They
the
don't speak a
sources,
different
hold
language.
up, all
They
the
don't speak a different
European
language.
languages got their sources from Latin. Latin comes from
Wrong.
Spain.
English didn't. English comes from Germanic language, bro.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
English
It's pretty
has
loud, bro.
incredible Latin roots. What are you talking about? Actually,
it didn't.
English has more Latin
It has
roots in
Germanic
Greek.
roots.
Actually,
It has Germanic
English have
roots.
more Greek roots
It
than
had
fucking
no.
Germanic
No,
roots.
it,
You
no, it has more
motherfuckers in
Germanic, bro.
Germany was speaking
Ask
Babel.
ChatGPT. It has, bro.
Now
What
we're going
are
to
you
ask
talking
Chat
about?
GBT.
It
Okay,
has
something
more
your
George.
white ass
It has
created.
more.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm white, but you know more about it than I do. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I know more about Spain,
You do.
obviously.
You
I
don't
know
know.
more
You
about
don't know.
Montezuma, obviously. I know more about the Mexicans than your
Congratulations,
ass
bro.
do.
No, you don't know. Actually, you
Sir,
obviously
I
don't know
just
when that's needed, bro.
but you said that the Mexicans are indigenous, but all of them identify as white. As a matter of fact,
No,
the
they don't.
Mexicans
What do you?
went to the
No, they don't,
Supreme
bro.
Court.
There's
The
racist.
Mexicans went to the Supreme Court to be classified as white in this country. It's on the
Bro,
books.
I hate to break your
Can you Google that?
I hate to burst your
Can
bubble,
you
bro.
chat
I hate to
GPT
burst your
that?
bubble. I hate to burst your bubble, but there's a lot of Mexicans who identify as indigenous, bro.
Whatever, they're white. They went to the Supreme Court.
They're not though because they've done
They
DNA
went to
samples.
the Supreme Court and they won.
They've done DNA
They
samples,
won
bro.
to be considered white. Why?
They've done
This is
DNA
why.
samples.
They won to be considered white because they were Spaniards. They knew they were
They don't
Spaniards.
though. What are you
They
talking
knew
about?
they were
They don't,
Europeans.
bro.
And you tried to tell them that they were different, but they went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court agreed that the Mexicans, anybody Mexican that come over here and want to classify themselves as white, they are white because of that Spaniard DNA, motherfucker.
Yes, I know that. But they also have
to like
indigenous DNA. They also have
to
Aztec
like Chick
DNA.
P point, Tyler, hold on. To like Chick P point, I believe like the Mexicans did that for survival. They want to be colorized as white for survival, from a racism standpoint.
Bro, that doesn't make sense though. They don't. So okay, hold on. Don't say nothing. Some of them, I don't know.
You can't tell me that, but continue.
Hold on. I don't. But hang on. Let me speak. I don't know what the percentage is, but I've spoken to some people on here. Like a lot of them, like will identify as like, hey, yeah, the Spanish came over and they colonized Mexico, obviously, and so we identify more as like Spaniard per se than like indigenous. But then there's some people that identify more as indigenous. You know what I mean? And it's more than people here in America identify as Native American too. Because like some people can say, oh, they're Native American, but they're really not. Or if they are, they're like 1% or not even that. But like people in Mexico are like, it's way more. It's like I don't know what the percentage is.
Appreciate the heartbeat, Chick P. Appreciate the heartbeat. Appreciate it, Tyler. You dismissed like what he said. Like the Mexicans, when they view themselves as white,
they don't.
They did it for survival.
I didn't say. Hold on. Not all of them do that, bro. Not all of them do that. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't say all.
Well, he did. He said all of them do that. They don't. Most of them don't.
I said 72%. What do you mean all? I never said all.
Maybe. Maybe, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. I know all of them know that, but I know, yeah, like, but a lot of them would say, like, especially, well, hold on, especially like Americanized Mexicans who live here in America, they don't like the idea of being from a colonizational race like Spain. So they'll say like I'm indigenous and stuff, but they're really like descendants from Spain and stuff.
Literally just said that. I'm
I can't
sorry,
speak on it. I'm
Merch.
not Mexican, so I don't even know.
You just literally repeated what I just said.
Damn.
Well, no, because
Like
you were saying
I
like
don't know if he got that himself, but
you were no, yeah, I'm a white person, bro. I'm not Mexican or anything.
But he said you agreed to what he said overall.
Well, yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff he said. I'm not
Then
gonna
why
lie.
you said I disagree at first?
I don't know for the sake of conversation, I guess.
Ah, you was fucking with him. I get it. I fuck with it.
I fuck with you, Chick P, bro. I fuck with you, man. You cool. You cool, bro.
shit, I'm looking at it right now. So let me make the distinction. In Colorado, I know they classify themselves at 72% white.
Well, hold on.
Across the United States right
Why you going to
now,
Colorado, bro?
across the United States right now, they classify themselves as 52% white across the board. That is a majority. And there's about 100 million, including illegals and the ones that's legal. It's
Yeah,
close to not 100 million. It's probably closer to 80 million of these motherfuckers in there, and that
there's a lot of
53% of them consider themselves white across the board. That's a majority. So you can't say that they don't consider themselves white
no.
when the
I'm
majority of
saying,
them do.
no. I'm saying, okay, hold on. That might be here in America, but you have to look at the people in Mexico too. And I like we have to get like a Mexican American person here to talk about that, but because I'm not that. But I've talked with them and most of them say like, "Oh, I'm not," because they don't want to. They say this because they don't want to identify as like the white Spanish race that colonized a whole bunch of countries. That's why.
So if that's the case in, like, say, Peru, Argentina, why do they at over 50% of the cases classify themselves as white when they come here?
Right, right. Because
Right. And that's what the
they
host
are.
was pointing out, that they only do that because it's proximity to whiteness, it's proximity to white supremacy, and they're going under the radar. I mean, they're not under the radar now, but I'm just saying,
Facts.
before what's happening now is happening, they were classifying themselves as white, and they was just hanging out under the radar, going with the
Yeah,
flow.
have you
So they
seen a
can
have
survive
you seen
without
a
them being slaves.
have you
So
seen
like
an
they can survive
Argentinian
without being
person?
slaves.
Have you seen an Argentinian or Chilean person versus like a Mexican person? There's a difference because Mexican people are mixed with indigenous and Spaniards. Chilean people aren't. They're just mixed with. Well, I mean, I think they are a little bit, but
Census
not as
box
much
and
as
they
Mexican
say
are.
they're white Hispanic, that doesn't matter. Because the point of this, what we're saying right now, is statistically, what do they identify as? You could talk
Oh,
about
well, you'd have to ask them.
geography, you could talk about what they consider themselves in Chile all you want. But when a Chilean comes over here and he fills out that census, he's gonna say he's white Hispanic.
Yeah, but there's like,
Okay, man, that's the point I'm trying to make, though.
there's like Mexican and Hispanic too.
But Bobby Knuckles, what's your take on it?
I agree with everything Chickpea said. Just because of the fact that Spain is literally connected to Europe. So, I mean, I'm not quite sure what's being debated. And then when it came to colonization, the Spaniards led that colonization. So of course, they're going to take on the majority. Take on the majority. Well, How many? Quick question. How many Africans? Because I know the majority of Africans from the transatlantic slave trade went actually to Central and South America. So there was more, and this is just a question because I don't really know too much about Central, the history specifically pertaining to Central and South. Was there more colonization when it came? Were there more Spaniards populating those areas than there were actual Africans at that time period? Is that why there's such a huge difference in the percentage? Because my brother's saying there's about 70% that's claiming that they're white. Or does that only pertain to America?
That only pertains to America because if you're in Argentina, right? Because the Tyler tried to argue that, well, he said the same thing. It's not just an American thing, and he tried to argue that a person in Peru or Argentina or Chile never will say that they're Spanish, or sorry, Spanish, but my counter argument, my argument from the beginning was when they come to the United States, they do classify themselves as white. They automatically recognize that Spaniard in them. And the point that then, like I said, if you watch their television programs, right? I'm not saying that the Mexicans don't have indigenous blood in them. I'm not saying that at all. Look, a lot of them might have complete indigenous blood in them. But dude, you come to the United States and you say I'm white Mexican, white Hispanic. You can't come to me now and argue that, oh, I'm not white, I'm not Spaniard, I'm indigenous. He making an argument for the person that came over here and denied his whole indigenous past for the sake of being white. So this is not an argument of DNA, genealogy, geography. This is an argument of intent and purpose. What would be the intent then? To come over here and say that your ass is white Hispanic if you indigenous, other than to try to hide the fact that you may have some loyalty to your indigenous culture, but when you in the United States, you want to identify as white to take advantages of the fact that you are white and that you have Spanish blood in you in the first place. It's hypocrisy to me. And then what's happening now is just showing you know what? What's happening now might prove that you may be right, that they might be indigenous. They don't have no white people blood in them because it's a white person that's deporting their ass right now.
Don't be that time.
Bobby, Tyler, anyone of y'all, what's y'all take on it?
Well, yeah, I don't disagree with my brother. I feel like he's covering all the talking points. I personally just don't want to speak too much about Central and South because I just don't have that knowledge there. So I'm just going to kind of sit on the sideline and ask questions and learn. But if you're talking about the prompt, I got an opinion on that.
Now Bobby, I want to ask you this. So what's your take on black women need to stay they need to stay out of black men's business? What's your take on it?
I agree wholeheartedly with the prompt. A little bit of information about me, man. I come from a big family from the South. We started off in South Carolina. Eventually ended up in Georgia. Now we're down there in Florida, and my specific family, about 14 siblings, right? So I had mad sisters, mad sisters. I'm one of the youngest, so I grew up just around that whole movement of black powerful women, you know. Um, and for me, as a 37-year-old man, I have to. I'm pretty sure for all of us, we have to kind of go in there and find our masculinity, especially. My dad was locked down, et cetera, et cetera. But you have to go up and find your masculinity because it's easy to get buried under that femininity. You know what I mean? So when it comes to me, I feel like that conditioning allowed them to believe they were they were able to kind of dictate and figure out how to raise a man. These are a bunch of women who had no men in their life with their opinion of what they felt like would be best to raise a BLK man in this world. Which more often than not, as I grew up and put myself around the right people, blah blah blah, I ended up being, a pretty strong black, BLK man. Long story short, what I find myself um, more often than not is that BLK women are very opinionated in what they would consider is a man in their eyes. They actually try to judge us and try to demonize us if we don't do certain things that they would perceive. Once again, these are women that never had a positive role model in their life when it comes to a BLK man. Not all of them. I'm just speaking on the ones my anecdotal experience, and ironically, that anecdotal experience was the norm within that neighborhood. But and even now they try to do that, and I feel like, but if you try to tell a BLK woman anything, it's kind of like it's your HOMO. You're not supposed to be there. They ensure BLK women ensure that BLK men cannot have any type of opinion on what we consider sexy, what we consider womanhood, but they have their hand all up in our cookie jar. So 100% I'm opposed, and I speak vividly about this. Anytime a BLK woman tries to speak about the experience or what they think a BLK man should do, they need to be silent because they have no idea. There's no world, unless she knows a mad scientist, there's no world where a BLK woman could ever understand the struggle of a BLK man. And I think that's a myth that BLK women conditioned us with, believing that only BLK women could understand the struggle of a BLK man. Just like they believe in Kimberly Crenshaw intersectionality, that the struggle of being BLK and a woman is a whole completely different experience that no one in this world could understand. I wholeheartedly believe they could never understand it, even if they manifest it as AI themselves. So I'm completely with you. They should never speak on anything pertaining to the BLK man unless it's their specific BLK man or someone within their nuclear family. That's my answer.
Okay, Nicole, what's your take on it?
So what's the question?
Do you think black women need to stay out of black men's business?
Like what business are we pertaining to?
In general, just in general.
Well, I think that I think that everyone should mind their own business, of course. But if it's like a group, like if you're looking at it as like, oh, this is like the demographic wise, then it's like there's black men that speak on black women and there's black women that speak on black men. I mean, I think it's more so there's issues in the community that people speak on. I don't know. I'm not really like into it. I don't know what like goes on within the communities, but like I was listening to you talk, the person before me, and like you were talking about that black women don't know the struggles of a black man. When I
And
think
what's your
that like
take on that?
no, I think that's like not true because I believe that definitely black women and black men face very similar, if not the same struggle in America. You know, like the stereotypes, like the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the, this, to that, So I feel like it's more so like that's your basically other half of you. So maybe they do know what's going on, like as far as when it comes to black men. And that's why they speak on it.
So I wanted to point out something Bobby said that was real critical in that a lot of black women don't have male figures, right? If you go on some of these panels and you start criticizing black women for anything or trying to hold them accountable for anything, one of the first things they're gonna say if they don't call you, a homo, is that you ain't have no daddy, right? So I grew up in a family, no daddy, but I had a sister. How could my sister get on the panel and say and criticize a black man for not having no daddy when she didn't have this daddy too, right? Black women tend to forget those parts that we bring up and then want to try to say that, oh, we're the problem because we didn't have no daddies. Why couldn't it be the opposite truth, considering if we are in the same household? I'm with my sister. This brother said he had a few sisters, and I'm pretty sure every black man and most of them had a sister. And if we didn't have daddies in our houses, that means the women that's in our age range that's growing up didn't have men in their households neither. So why isn't black women trying to be understanding of that point, that your type of thinking is a problem too with not having a father at home, just like us? What is it? What is it? I think what it is that the society catered to you more. We both suffered the same situation, but the society catered to the black woman more, which I brought up early before you guys had got up here with the welfare system and just kind of keeping us out of jobs. How the first unions in this country, right? For example, we were the people that were building the infrastructures in this country, right? But when all them white people came here on Ellis Island, guess what? They started creating unions where we couldn't build houses no more. We couldn't, lay pavement no more because now they unionized them all and then kept us out of the mix. And that's when we got up into that welfare situation where the black man probably wasn't able to get a job. But when you had to go get benefits, the state said, hey, if your dude is in the house and you not married to him, he can't be in the house in order for you to get benefits. And what the black woman do? She did what she needed to survive. Look, and I'm not knocking you for that, because my grandmother was and my mother was under that same circumstance. So I'm not knocking you for that. I'm saying black women need to recognize too that not having the father there created this idea that when the feminists exploited that and said, hey, you can be independent, you can do your own thing, which you did. I don't think no black man would sit up here and say a black woman never just did her thing, handled business. You know what I'm saying? What we're trying to get you to understand is that while handling your business, you didn't understand that they set you up for that to keep us out. You know what I'm saying? To keep us from gaining economic power these past 60, 70 years. I think this just really been a 60, 70-year plan. Right after the civil rights movement. Think about it. The same Democrats that black women support today was the same Democratic Party that filibustered the damn Civil Rights Act. Joe Biden was in Congress at that time, and he helped to filibuster the damn Civil Rights Act. And so if a black woman can't recognize that, and why black men is saying, hey, it's not that we want to control you or dominate you, we're saying that they set us up. And now you have a working program that just works for you. And while we're talking about the issues with black and black men and black women, that is really, I'm sorry to say, that it's only the black woman that don't recognize a lot of these things that I just said that contributed to the conversation we have today.
Quick take. I disagree with parts of what Nicole said, because she said black men and black women have the same struggle. And I disagree with that, because black women benefited from a lot of shit compared to black men. That's all I want to say.
Like what?
What Chick P was saying.
So like,
To be specific, government jobs. Look, I brought this
okay.
up earlier. The unemployment rate in the black community all of a sudden skyrocketed to 7.2%. But guess where the majority of those unemployment numbers is coming from? The black women who were working within this government, who the Democratic Party basically propped up, it facilitated those jobs for, and this, that, and the other. Now Trump comes in, he scraps DEI and fires a lot of government employees because he's trying to shrink the government. And now we having this back and forth about why Trump is doing this. And that's another point that a black woman should look at. Like, how the fuck is the unemployment numbers going up just because the most majority of those numbers is coming from the black women and DEI women that lost their jobs under Trump? Shouldn't that show you that at some point they had alienated black men from the whole process, right? Of facilitating the education, facilitating the opportunities for those jobs. I got a good education. When I got my first degree in IT networking, I knew all about computers. But when I went to try to get an apprenticeship at Microsoft, when I tried to just get a job at like some low level tech company as like a help desk support, which is probably like one of those entry level positions that you'll find in technology, they all fucking deny me. But a white motherfucker will come out of college with no training, no experience, just like me. But he'll get a job paying him 70, 80,000 a year. And you'll tell me I didn't work hard enough. But I got the same education. I went to the same companies. I applied for the same apprenticeships. And they denied me and said, they told me I ain't have no experience. But I know for a fact, most of the white people that sitting up there in college, they partying. I was in college. I know they partying all damn day long, 24 hours a day. I was on those college campuses. And then how the hell they gonna walk their ass out of college with a C average? I walk out with a 3.4, a B average. He walks out with a C average, if that. And he gets a job automatically paying him $60,000, $75,000 a year. But the job that I have to accept because I didn't spend $60,000 on my education, and now I got to go get a job that's not even in my area that I went to my education for, and you would tell me I didn't work hard enough. We have a lot of problems. I'm fine with what happened in my life with that moment. I'm fine because I created another way to make business, to make money and stuff like that. And I could just do for myself to where I don't necessarily have to go and ask a motherfucker for a 9 to 5. So the question becomes now, do I bring a black woman into my situation? Either she got her life already built up, and then what type of relationship can I have with a woman that already have a life built up? I went through all my struggles, she went through all her struggles, and now we at the same level. Then the only thing we doing is dating. We ain't work towards nothing. We ain't build nothing. When I look at white people and they in their relationships and they sleeping in their damn cars and they just with each other until they get out of that rut. And then the next 10 years, because they worked through all that struggle, they got a nice house, nice lawn and stuff like that. Hey, I have to look to that example as a more of a type of relationship, because guess what? That activity with each other creates the relationship. The black woman don't have it in her mind that, hey, I don't need no man until I'm 50 and I'm well off, and now I'm sitting up here 50 years old and I'm looking for a man that's on my level, and I'm not going to take a man that's not on my level. Why wouldn't you take that man that's not on your level? You didn't even have you're not going to even develop the experience in the relationship, the struggles, the give and takes. At the end of the day, you going to go get another rich man and y'all both rich, And now y'all don't want kids because y'all both rich. You know, my grandparents, our ancestors, man, they struggled together, and that's what made that traditional family work. It wasn't the goal that everybody was reaching for, like most women are, you know, how they are today. They want the goal before taking the route to get there. Because that's what builds a relationship. That's why those relationships, these superstars and shit like that, Cardi B, for example, come on. You know what I'm saying? If she got a man that worked at McDonald's, this is what I'm saying. A good man. I'm not talking about just because he worked at McDonald's. He might work at McDonald's. He might be a little shy. He might be a little educated. He wear glasses, this, that, and the other, right? And say she just finds some attraction to him and say, hey, you know, I want to take on this. And because he just seemed like a nice dude. He might work at McDonald's, but he just seemed like a nice dude. If she get with that dude, she rich as hell. He living in the mansion. He still don't care about that shit. He just saying, damn, if Cardi B want me, okay, I'm gonna try to be the best man I can because Cardi B want me. Right? For him, that's a flex, right? But if say in 5 years, in 10 years, you know, he comes up, he's a store owner, not by Cardi B's money, but because he worked from that position he was at, and he was able to eventually franchise out his own store. Man, Cardi B will still be with that man because he will just, the fact that he didn't ask her for no money, he didn't ask her for no support. He just said, hey, you accepted me in the first place. And then now I come home from work every day. There's no issue. She's not telling me to go get a better job and shit like that. Then now I can focus on that. I can focus on getting that store. I can focus on getting that general manager position and raise myself up in that condition and stuff like that. That's what builds a relationship ultimately. And that's why these superstars, and when they come together and they're rich, it never works out. Show me one that has worked out. You gonna say Bobby Brown and Whitney? Look what happened to them. I'm not trying to disparage them. I grew up on them. I love Bobby. I love Whitney. Do not get me wrong. But see, that's the point I'm trying to make. They never, even though they had similar lifestyles and stuff like that, they never struggled in that together.
Nicole, what's like your response to that? Nicole, what's your response to that?
I'm sorry, I don't think there's anyone named Nicole here.
No,
Sorry,
yeah,
she probably ain't got no response because I know I'm right, man. I
what
know I'm
classy?
right.
So
What?
good evening. Okay, so I just stumbled on this call. This is very interesting to me because I do believe in numbers. And a lot of what you're saying, I definitely disagree with. So I'm a Black woman married to a Black man. We are both educated and we came together and have built ourselves separately and together.
Quick question, classy.
Sure.
But by like what you just said, right?
Why
That's
is there a
beautiful.
but? Why is there a
Now
but?
listen.
There should
That's
no be no
beautiful,
but.
right?
It should be
It is.
it
I
is.
mean,
It
a
should
question.
be but let me
Who's
continue before you
who's?
continue
No,
on.
no, 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 no. Just a quick question. Then you can tell you who's in charge of the relationship.
See, this is where I think that is the battle of why you all
See,
continue.
that's
No,
the point. You're
no,
the
no,
type
this
of
is not the
woman
point.
that believe in
Your first
equal.
the whole
You're below your man.
let me tell you this. So what you said is Black women need to stay out of Black men's business. That's what this is posted up, right?
Facts.
Okay. So you're interjecting something and you're not allowing me to be able to show you exactly what it means to have a healthy relationship. Okay.
I just asked you
I
a,
know, but
a quick question,
I know,
and
but
then you
I
can
want you, I
continue
want to
to.
respect you all. Just please respect me
I'm
as
just
well.
saying. So you
Okay.
believe Cardi B had,
I'm not discussing Cardi B. I'm not
but
discussing
you're
Cardi
gonna
Okay,
try
B
to
just
come up
continue.
here
Wait,
because
and
wait, wait.
dismiss everything I said.
that's a
Chick
world
P, hold on.
that is not
Just
that's
let
a
her
world that is
explain
not real.
her
That's not a
her
world that is real. Are
husband,
we going to
and
respect each other or not?
but you're thinking. To me, classy. You're disrespecting your man by viewing
I
you as
didn't
an
say
equal to him.
anything. I didn't
You
say
view him as
anything
an
about
equal
my
to your
man.
man.
I didn't
That's the
say anything
question.
about my man. I didn't
I
say
asked
anything
you a
about my
question.
man.
I asked you a
What I
question. Do you see
Right, but
yourself?
you also disrupt you interrupted me by me first trying to tell you and be able to show you what the platform is that I'm working with that will
Fuck it.
be able
Continue. Speak.
to
Speak.
dismantle what you're saying.
I guess, but continue.
Yeah, and I guess what you're saying. You're telling me things about a Cardi B, etc. I don't care about that. I'm talking about what the real world is. The fact is that black men and women at a higher percentage are getting married. There are many black women who are with black men who are, as you stated, under them from a financial standpoint and who build together. What the biggest farce is the concept of black women not sticking with black men when they are down from a socioeconomic standpoint. That is totally false. You can go to any neighborhood and be able to show this. That's where the whole concept of black women being dealing with quote unquote homo, what is it, the whole where they're just bouncing from couches to couches and relying upon black women to get them to the next point. So, therefore, I'm not going into that. I'm going to talk to you about what it means to have a healthy relationship between two black people who know who they are and they're able to connect together and continue to build. So, that whole concept that you're stating and that you have been built upon is not true at all. I like
You
numbers.
come from a
I
traditional
don't like
family.
speaking to I feel.
Can I ask a question?
No one on this panel has said a fact that they can showcase.
What? We've been stating facts all
No,
night.
you have
See,
Oh,
not. No, you
damn.
have
you're the
not.
type
No,
of
you
black
have
woman. See,
not.
that's my
I can
point.
tell
You're the
you
type of black
facts.
woman. You're a disrespectful black woman for one.
Oh, and you
Two,
know what? And you
two,
are a
two,
disrespectful black man
two.
because
We've been stating facts all night.
you consistently have disrupted me the
No, I
entire
didn't. I
time.
just let you
From the
talk. Did
moment
I?
that I stepped on here, you broke my
Y'all like
entire
chickpea. Like,
sentence.
did
And
I not
that
just
is
let her
rude.
talk?
That is
I just
rude.
let you talk. I
That
let
is
you
rude.
talk.
That is
Chickpea
rude.
had a
No, you have
question for
not.
you, and you
No,
just
you have
interrupted
not.
him. He
No,
had a
you have
question for
not.
you. He
No,
had a
you have
question
not.
for you.
You
Chickpea got
have
a
no
question for you.
clue of what's going
I
on.
just let you
And the
finish. You
fact
don't.
is that
You
I've been
don't. You're a
married for an
feminist.
extended
You're a
period of
feminist, and
time.
I feel
We
sorry for your
continue to build,
boyfriend.
and you
I
don't
feel
have to because I
sorry
feel
for your
sorry for you
boyfriend.
because
I
you're
do because
probably
I'm a
not
black
married.
man.
You're
I'm a black
probably
man.
still
I
suffering
feel sorry for
through
your
various
husband
things,
because you
and
think
you got to
you are
figure
equal
things
to your
out in your
husband.
whole
You
life.
think you're equal
You've
to
got
your
an
husband.
ego that
You're
you
not
got to
required.
understand.
You're not even on your
Suffering.
husband's
I
level.
Nobody's
have been
You're
able
a
suffering.
to be
black woman.
raised by
Stand
a mother
down.
and father
Stand
who have
down.
been married for
Stand
over 40
down.
What I
years,
wanted to
Let your
and
ask
I
you, hold
have
husband
up,
built a
Rose.
lead.
very
Hold up,
Let
strong
your
Rose.
husband
platform,
lead.
and I will
Let
What
your
I wanted
continue
husband
to
to
ask
lead.
be able
you,
to
Let
have
your
a
you
strong
come
husband
from a
lead.
platform with
traditional
my husband.
family.
Let your
And it's
husband lead
sad
your
that because
marriage.
we also have
You're an
we have
entitled
we have
wife.
a we have
You're
formulated a
unworthy to be a
program
wife.
where we
Chickpea,
are
please
actually
ask her a question.
helping other black couples be able to understand how to connect with each other
Chickpea, please
and
ask
how
her a
to be
question.
able
You're
to build
rude and
upon
entitled.
what they
Just be
have.
quiet and
So
sit back.
I do feel
Just
sorry
be
for
quiet and
you.
sit
And the
back.
fact is that's why it's
Just be
only eight
quiet and
people
sit
on
back.
here. So
I
there
feel
we
sorry
go.
for your husband.
It's
No, I
okay.
feel
I feel
sorry for
sorry
your
for you and
husband. You're
everything that you stand
entitled.
for
You're
because you're
entitled.
spewing
I'm
all
a
kinds
successful
of
black man.
nonsense.
I'm a
You have all
podcaster.
kinds of
I'm a
nonsense
YouTuber that's
and you have no
monetized.
understanding
I've
of
written
what it
5
means
books.
to
What are
be
you
able
talking
to
about? I'm
grow
above you. I'm above you. Your husband
true
carries you.
true
Your
strong
husband carries you.
understanding
Your
of
husband
what it
carries you.
means to be a
Your
couple and in a
husband
healthy
carries you.
relationship.
You don't
And
know what a
everything
healthy
that you're
relationship
saying, I
is. You
never
don't know
even
that.
said anything to. So this is you making up things.
I just asked you a quick
No one
question. You
said
took
any, and
offense.
I didn't
Now
answer it.
Chickpea got a
I
question. I'm
didn't
saying
answer it
Chickpea
because
had a
number
question for
one,
you, and you
you
cut him off.
interrupted me. And
Chickpea had a question
therefore,
for
you
you. I
then
didn't
go on
interrupt
a
you.
rampage and now you're making up things and I
I
haven't even
just
said
said
anything.
Chickpea got a
So
question
you
for
don't
you.
even know
You
where I
did.
stand when it
You just
comes to
lied and
what a
said I
man
cut
and a
you off
woman
throughout.
and how that is.
You just
You
lied
have
and
no
said I cut
idea
you
what that
off
means.
throughout what
I
you were
give
saying. That's
respect
a
to
lie.
someone who
That's a
respects
lie.
me. You have
That's
not
a lie.
respected me from the beginning.
I
My
just let you
husband
finish.
respects me, and I see him as the
You
lead
know
in
this
my
recorded,
household.
right? You know
But
this
you're
recorded,
not.
right? I
It
let you
is, and
finish.
it's okay because
Listen to
my
how foolish
husband
you
is
sound.
actually.
I let you finish.
No, you
Now,
did not.
Chickpea, ask her a
You
question,
did not.
please.
And it's
I just
okay
did. I
because I
just
wish you
did.
the best because you are lost. You
Right.
don't
You're a
know what it
coward. You're a
means.
coward. I feel
You
sorry for
you
your
don't know what
husband.
it means to
You're
have
a
a strong
coward of a woman.
relationship.
You're a
And
coward
I
of a
hope
black
that
woman.
you're able to
You're a
be able
coward
to
of a black woman.
sustain that
You're a
as
coward of a
as
black
a
woman.
poor excuse of a black man
You're a coward of a black
whose
woman.
only way of making himself feel good
You're a
is to be
coward of a
able
black woman.
to spew
You're a
all
disrespectful
kinds
black
of
woman.
disrespectful and
You're a
being
disrespectful
able
black
to
woman.
name and name calling. So that
No,
is
your
what I
name
feel
calling.
sorry for
You're
you.
disrespectful. You're
And
just
you
disrespectful,
disrespect me
Chickpea.
from the very
Chickpea have a
beginning,
question for you.
and
Chickpea have a question for you. You just lied.
continue
You
to
just
do
disrespected
so
us and said
because
we
you're
haven't stated the
again,
fact throughout the
you
whole
are
show.
making up
You
things.
said we haven't stated the fact
I
throughout the
never
whole
even
show.
answered your question, but yet you have an
You did
answer.
answer it.
No, I
You've
did
been
not.
talking long.
This
You've been
is
talking
you
for
being
10
able to,
minutes.
again,
You talked for
interject
10
things that
minutes.
you're making up, which this whole
Chickpea, please ask
conversation
her a
has been
question.
about.
Please
It's
ask her a
about
question.
smoke and mirrors
She's this type of black woman
and
that don't know when to
abracadabra
shut up.
and all about these
She's the
types
type
of
of black
things.
woman that don't know when to shut up. Just shut up. Chickpea, ask her a question.
She answered it. I want to ask her, did she come from a traditional family? And she had brought that up. She said, my mother and father was in a household. And see, that's the difference. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, that your husband, if it worked out the way you said it worked out, because you said that you built up yourself first and he built up himself first, then you built up each other and it worked out. That's why I asked that question. I wanted to ask you that question. Did you grow up in a traditional household? Because it's a categorical difference at that point. Because if you had your father there, that is the difference. That's why it worked out with your husband today. And then if he had his father, then there's no reason why to suggest it wouldn't work out under those circumstances. But all I'm trying to point out is that even when we dealing with singles, married couples and stuff like that, and we having these conversations, right? All of our what we're saying matters. It points out. So the problem with what you said, I can't read your name. I'm sorry, classy. Sorry. Was that you tacitly agreed with me before you got into saying that I don't want to hear about all of that about Cardi B and stuff like that, and then you want to get into your situation. But I'm
She
afraid that you're
disagreed
trying
with you
to.
like from the jump. She disagreed with you from the jump from the record.
She did, but at what point she did? What did she say? She said something to the extent that the problems is probably with the single families, right? That we have issues with the single family households. Well, that is the problem, right? So you can talk about how many black families we have tradition, but we not don't necessarily have traditional families. You can talk about your relationship, but that's still subjected to the criticism that you're getting right now. Is it still traditional? Is it one of those situations where you can bring to all of us as an example? Now, the example you bring in, I believe you're going to bring is going to be contrary, and you're going to try to always bring that back to black men being the problem in all the relationships in general. But
Right.
somehow your relationship worked out, but you can't see that in your relationship you had traditional values, you had a traditional household, and then most of the cases that we're talking about don't. We don't have traditional households.
Chickpea. Her marriage is not even traditional because when I asked her a question, who is in charge of the relationship, she had an issue with that. So they let me know she's a type of black woman that thinks she's above black men. She thinks she's either on their level or above. So and this is the problem. And I bet you any money she stayed in her husband business 24/7. 24/7. And she disrespected us and said, we haven't stated a fact throughout this whole time. And as a black man, And see, I'm a fair black man. I let two black women come on here because I give opportunities and I'm a fair black man. And see, black women sometimes they need to stand down. They need to accept when they're wrong. They need to accept when they're being rude. And see, black women, they don't have no love for black men. And of course, I ain't say all. I'm not the type of person that say all black women. That's what black women say about black men. They always say all black men. But black women, they have no class. And they always think based off a fucking job title that they're on the same level as black men or even higher. And once again, I feel sorry for any man that's married to a black woman that thinks she's on the same level as him or above. That's all I gotta say.
Um, I guess I'll say classy. Congratulations, you have a successful relationship.
I'm sorry, Bobby. Speaking to your mic, bro.
Can you hear me
She can
now?
like unmute her mic. Like that's on her. Like she like got her mic muted. That's on her.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, it's on. I was letting you speak. I'm here.
Can you guys hear me better? Anyone?
You're good. Go ahead,
Oh,
Bob.
okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Um, Congratulations on a successful BLK relationship. I love to see it. I love to hear about it. Um, and I'm willing to bet you would be able to articulate a successful BLK relationship. Um, so I want to take my hat off to you for that. As far as what her back was saying, dang, bro, why you got that name? But as far as what her back was saying was correct. It's just there's always going to be a small sector of individuals who get onto a panel. They may be the 13%, they may be the 18% of BLK relationships, which is the norm, you know. But they still have a right. And I'm not saying that you're not saying that we don't have that right to kind of get together and just kind of talk that out and see, you know what I mean? And I think that's what's going on right here. I don't think no one's saying. I didn't hear no one say um, that this is all or this is most. I think we're just kind of understanding that we're just talking about some right now. I also agree that I personally got up here and just expressed my anecdotal experience, which wasn't facts. I just wanted to confirm what I was saying was not facts. That was something that was normalized within the people that was in my community and within my nuclear and extended family, which once again that's probably 0.00000003% of BLK Americans. But yeah, be peaceful, guys. Be peaceful.
I appreciate that, Bobby. And that was the thing that I came on just to say, and it wasn't even disrespectful. My comments were about facts. And I said, I want to know stats because that's what we were speaking of. That's what was introduced. And then me saying I did not necessarily want to talk about Cardi B because we're talking about the interactions of, like, to me, real life. The whole introducing celebrity relationships, etc., that's not something that we can even grasp on. That's something that is, it's a faux understanding of how people interact. If we're really trying to get to the heart of the matter, like the fact is, I have two young Black boys I'm trying to raise. I want to make sure that I'm preparing them along with my husband. And it is, and to address all the questions about, and you saying that you feel sorry for my husband, I think he would say the opposite because we have a true, strong
I don't
partnership.
give a fuck.
It's okay. And again, here you go with the disrespect. No one's cursing.
You just disrespected me.
No
Don't be
one's
telling
no
me.
one's no one's no one's cursing. I
You
didn't
just
disrespect
disrespected
you
me.
by first saying I said it's
We're
okay.
grown. We can cuss. I just cuss. That's all.
It's okay. It's okay. I understand. You're upset. But all I'm saying is that the partnership that my husband and I have, we understand about the yin and yang of things. That's it. period.
See,
And so
you're
with
bit.
Cardi B and all those things, it's like I don't even care about that. I'm looking at what reality is right here.
And the reality
And
is,
then
black
this
women
is
are
what it
disrespectful.
is that so in terms of relationships with black men, you're going to constantly have these conversations if you're looking at things in from one lens and not looking at it from the fact that yes, there's different experiences. We also can't generalize things. I understand you're saying like, oh, it's just a small percentage of this, that, and etc. But I also think we have to be careful what we're saying. That's all.
You have to be careful what you're saying. You're being
I
disrespectful.
first
You
said
just
we.
said
Didn't I say
your
we?
marriage.
I didn't I
You
say
just
we?
said it's not a partnership.
I said it's a partnership. We partner because number
It's
one,
not a
if
partnership.
I'm bringing the nurturing side,
And
right?
you said,
He's taking that piece, and
and you
together we have to
said,
come
I'm
together.
raising two black me. You
And I
can't
said
raise black boys.
along
You
with my
can't
husband,
raise. No, your husband raising them.
along with my husband. I'm the
You're
mother.
nurturing them.
I'm mothering and I'm nurturing them along with my husband.
You don't know how to.
Didn't I say along with my husband?
No, but what did you say first?
I said I'm raising two boys along with my husband.
Your husband is responsible for
No one's
raising
saying,
your two
first of all,
sons and
nobody is
developing them as
disregarding his
kings.
role. See, now
Queens,
no
Did
one's
in
queens,
your own
disregarding his
queens should
statement, you
role.
not.
said along.
I
When
said
you said
along.
No,
along,
no. She did. No,
you
listen. She did say that, but she said it out of. See, this is not this black woman shit. It's like she said it. She's slick with it, right?
I'm
Because she
not
said
slick with
I'm
anything.
raising. She said
I'm
I'm
saying
raising two
exactly
black
what it
sons.
exactly.
is.
She said, I'm raising two boys along with my husband. Look, in the animal kingdom,
What
you
are
are
you
the
talking
nurturer.
about?
We are the raisers. We are the
Thank you,
ones that
thank you.
is going to be physically in activity with the sons, maybe even being rough with them to teach them how to be tough, to teach them how to stand up for themselves. Can you raise a son like that?
Fuck no.
Who's saying that? Like, but I'm talking to you
But that's what you
as the
said.
mother.
That's
As the
what you
As
mother.
said.
his mother, yes, as a nurturer. So speak from a
So
nurturer's
Nurturing
so
standpoint.
perspective.
what should be said then? How should I have
No,
said
no.
it?
See,
How
this is
should
the
I have said
problem
it?
with black women.
My
You do
See,
not know
right,
how
no,
to
right.
I want to
nurture.
know how should I say it? Should I say my husband
Oh
and
no.
I?
I'll mute up
Oh,
for the rest of the night. Shit.
yeah. You tell me, since clearly you have a way with words.
Okay, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you from a metaphysical standpoint, and I know this is off topic. So the ancient Egyptian people, when they drew the sky out as a woman, right? As a woman, they called her Nut, N-U-T, and it's this woman, a black woman, because she's black as the sky. So it's a black woman. That's the symbolism in it. Her feet and hands are on each horizon. Those stars in her body
Mm-hmm.
are it is a symbol is a symbolism of gestation. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, you
Mm-hmm.
are the nurturer, you are the gestator,
We said
you are
that.
the nurturer.
Mm-hmm.
When we are in your womb,
Mm-hmm.
we don't get nothing from our fathers but the seed. But the seed
Mm-hmm.
is the power. The seed is the
Mm-hmm.
light. This is what women
Facts.
want to forget too, is
Mm-hmm.
that the seed is the light. The seed is the active power. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to accept yourself as that nurturer, as that womb. What did you do to me in that womb? That
Mm-hmm.
is what you should define and what you classify as nurturing. Right? So whatever you consider nurturing, I'm telling you from a very close to the truth perspective, you should consider nurturing that 9 months that you had each of those childs in your womb. What did you do for them? And that's what you should do for them for the rest of their life. Now, as the father, being the seed, the spark, the light, that's all activity. So what do my sons have to do? They have to be able to fend for themselves. They have to be able to defend themselves. They have to be able to take care of family, a home, and everything like that. That should come from me.
I'm not arguing against that. I understand that.
the question then is, you said you the nurturer.
I said that. Yes. I'm not denying that. I didn't run away from that. I know my
So
role.
what did you do for your children when they were in the womb?
I think we're going in circles because I don't understand
No,
what.
it's not a
Yeah,
circle.
yeah, absolutely.
No, no,
Because
ma'am.
I
It's not
already
a circle.
identified. I
No,
already identified that I was the nurturer. So I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, because you said I couldn't. What can a man define what a woman nurturing is in words?
No, no, no,
And
no, no,
then
no,
what
no,
I
no.
just stated,
So
you agreed with me.
you
So
clear
that means that I
you're not
actually
listening to what
stated what a
you're
woman
not
can do to
listening to
nurture a
what
child.
you're not listening to what I said, okay? You all were making fun of how I phrased what I was doing in my family. I said that I, along with my husband, were raising 2 boys. That's the statement I said. And you all went on a rampage.
And I said, no, it wasn't a rampage. I made a
And I
statement. I
said to you,
said,
I said,
you
so
can't
then how?
raise
So I
your
said,
two
how should I
sons. That's your
have
husband
phrased
job.
that? How should I have rephrased that?
And Shake P just he just like
And
broke it
so
down
what
to
I'm
you.
saying to you is I know that I'm the nurturer. Nobody is discounting that.
So, in compared to what a man's expectation is, especially when a child is introduced into that relationship,
Camila,
as
what
the
up?
nurturer, I want to hear what Black women has to say specifically. I gave specifics. I said a man's supposed to teach a child, a boy, especially a boy child, how to
I agree with that.
defend, how to protect, how to provide, and
Right.
this, that, and the other. So, as a nurturer, what did you do when that child was in the womb?
Made sure I exercised, fed myself well in order to make sure that they were able to grow through the gestational period. I know all those things. I
You
never
listen to
said
their
anything.
heartbeat,
I
right?
never
Hold
said
on, hold on, hold on,
anything
hold on, hold on,
about
hold on, hold on, hold on.
not
You
doing
listen to the
things.
heartbeat. You
Thank you,
felt the
rich girl.
kicks,
Thank you,
right?
rich girl. I mean, I don't even understand
No, no, no. I'm
what we're
finna give
saying
you the
here.
understanding.
Yeah,
Listen, ma'am.
nobody
Hold up,
said
hold up.
anything about, I
When
know
you
what
was
my
able
husband
to
role
hear
does.
your child's heartbeat,
Yeah.
how did that make you feel?
Juvenated, fabulous, all the things,
So don't you
joyful.
know all of that energy goes to that child in the womb?
I know this.
Right. So, as Black men, and I
Right.
tell you, I had a stone cold mother. She was stone cold, bro. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, she was gang. Look, stone cold. Okay. And I know, I'm telling you what I believe a woman nurturing is right now. What I believe. I'm not saying it for a fact. I'm just trying to gauge and get to a consensus somehow. That in that, when I was in my mother's womb and I kicked and she heard my heartbeat, I'm pretty sure she had the same rejuvenation, the same jubilee in hearing her son heartbeat, knowing that there's life in her and stuff like that. Those are the things that were nurturing me, right? But when I came out of that womb, everything changed. I'm sorry. That's the case for a lot of Black men and women. That's why we have single parent households. This is what I'm trying to point out. So if you're saying that you are a nurturer, and if we're looking at this thing broader than you, we're not talking about you per se, but just in general with Black women in context of this conversation, that Black women have missed the mark when the child comes out of the womb. They stop nurturing, right? Because you are a single parent now and you have to do both jobs. So we have a generation of Black women that have become more masculine and have developed the inability to raise the men that they're raising in these communities. That's why so many of us is in jail right now. So many of us is on the street. So many of us is having problems. So we're talking about the broader context. I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel and everybody that's listening have, they have their issues, but I always assume that people that talk intelligently, have something to offer to the conversation, have at least something going on in their life, right? And they're not really talking about the problems that affect them as per se. It may be, but we're talking about something that affects us as a whole, right? So when Bobby excused his anecdotal experience, that was proper. At the same time, it was a good kind of anecdotal experience to give us context to the broader conversation that we're having. So, Classy, when you came up, the energy was like, you finna come up here and say, look, none of that shit y'all talking about is happening, and this is the way my life went, and da 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 da, and this is how it is with us right now. And how could you not see that when we got so many YNs, when we got 2 million of our people incarcerated? How could you see that as a broader problem as opposed to trying to say that I'm individually, right, accountable, which is true, right, to my choices and things like that. But we always talk in these vacuums that there is no other systemic issues that's happening that contributed to some of the choices that we make, even though I want to hold you as accountable as much for your choices as I will mine. At the same time, you know, even in the court of law, they give you redress to say that you may be mentally ill, you may have been intoxicated, or something like that. Black women don't do that for us, and that's not nurturing.
Thank you. No, the energy that I came up here was because of a comment that was made. It had nothing to do with me saying I disagree with what things or the state of what the Black community is at. I was trying to first state how things were and what I was doing, but then it turned left. So I wasn't even able to address what I initially wanted to.
You start off disagreeing with us, so
I
it is what it
started
is.
off basically trying to first say, because there was a couple of things that were said that I did not agree with. So I was first trying to do the introduction in terms of where I stood and my background, and then be able to go into things. But it didn't go that way.
You've done that.
Okay. That's all. Of course, because I had to like be able to go back and backtrack. That's what I'm saying. I'm addressing what I believe Herback, was stating in terms of the energy that I brought in.
It is what it is.
It is. Thank you.
And
Be easy.
okay, it's a beautiful conversation, and I just feel like Black women need to stay out of Black men's business.
There you go. That is fine.
That's all. And I
And
hope
all I'm saying is, you supposed to create a bond with me like you create with your children, first with your children, right? But as all men are born of woman, even if we're not related, you know, we should go out of our way. Just like women, I haven't said the B word, I haven't said the H word, I haven't said nothing. I don't think I said anything remotely disrespectful on this whole panel, this whole time. Okay. And that's what I mean. I you know, as much as I want to have that bond with you, I have to address the issues that prevent that bond from happening. And the one thing I have found is that Black women do not know how to nurture no more. And my simile about the child being in the womb is a perfect example of that. In that if you can't understand the relationship that of your nurturing relationship with your own child in your womb, then you couldn't have it with a man or raise a woman or raise a young lady that would be able to have that relationship with a man. You know what I mean? Because it's a compensation. The relationship is a compensation. The problem I have with this relationship overall is when money comes into it. Is when people start talking about status. And look, the only reason, right, the Cardi B example was not to create controversy, it's to create the perfect analogy for the dynamic of two people that come to the epitome of social status and still have the inability to have the worst relationship ever. Right? So who is somebody like Cardi B to be telling black women to have how to have relationships? You say you don't want to deal with it and it is a problem, but guess what? As a black man, I got to deal with that attitude from Megan Thee Stallion and all these other motherfuckers that's out there pushing this narrative that somehow, even though I have the world of white supremacy against me and I'm trying to climb up this hill and make something of myself, and then even when I seem to have getting to the peak of where I can get in that society, and it's still not acceptable to you because you don't see all the other or believe that all the other obstacles that's ahead of me as a black man. But black men experience this world categorically different. I have to say that as much as and look, when the woman say she experienced it totally different, guess what? I agree. We are in a patriotic society. We are in a male-driven society. But you can't conflate your experience as a woman, a totally different gender, compared to a black man who has historically been oppressed.
That's a fact. Those are the facts. In black women, their role in relationships or marriages is key because rich girl, she brought up what did she say, doctor's appointments and eating healthy and all this other shit because she's speaking from that woman's role to hold the house down, to cook, make sure that her husband eat right and right. So women roles are key. But we seeing as black men, black women have to stand down, like stay the fuck out of our business. And everything will be okay. But a lot of black women, they challenge their king. Every time when a lioness try to challenge the lion, all you gotta do is roar his paw on her, and that's it. But see, black women, they want to be. It's like they want to be in our position so bad. No, like you can't. And black men, we need to be appreciated by our black women. We need to be respected by our black women. And black women, it's like all they doing is bashing us, disrespecting us, not acknowledging us. They always trying to question our intelligence in this white man world. And I can't stand for it. I can't stand for
Yeah,
it.
give us the authority in the household
Nikki,
that you give your boss at work. I'm
facts.
not saying direct you around like this is a mission or some shit like that. But if like his example of the lion pride, you know what I mean? It's so, if you look throughout history, all the ancient cultures use animals as status, right? So the man that was initiated, he got his leopard skin or his jaguar skin. You see what I'm saying? Look, in our ancient societies before colonization, like I brought up earlier, with the bar mitzvah, with the Israeli people, when that young boy turns 13, the mother got to shut the f up as far as that man is concerned. And the reason why I called him a man, because I know what the bar mitzvah means. It means that at 13, at puberty, when you start to be able to, get your thing going, you're a man. I'm just saying, you're a man. So in all ancient cultures, when I got like if I was in Egypt at 13, I'll get my leopard skin and I'll walk in the house and my mother would have to bow down to me. But that doesn't give me the right to disrespect her. I'm not saying that. I made the comparison, the ancient society compared to this society, because in this society, the women don't consider us as men at 13. They consider us what? Teenagers. They say we're not a man until we're what? 21. Right? So from where we came from, whether we were indigenous or African, doesn't matter, because it was the same thing here in the ancient Mesoamerican cultures when the black indigenous Mayans and Aztec people and the Colombians, they were all black at one point. When their men became 13, they got their jaguar skin. In Africa, they got the leopard skin. It was the same initiation. So I'm feeling the brother. I kind of get where he's pushing back on women in totality and saying, "Hey, we're the king, we're the head." And I've been feeling that. And look, I just started getting into these conversations about relationships because I thought I wasn't good at it. I really did thought I wasn't good at this shit. But I think I do have a lot to say to black women and think I can part them some wisdom, not to change, not to, go outside of themselves. But I know, I understand as a black man, I go through an evolution. The black woman forgot it. I think a black woman forgot a lot about the spiritual principles in the world, even when it comes down to Jesus. They forgot about Jesus. They want that bag so much.
Because they took advantage of freedom and said, fuck black men. And not only that, they took advantage of their independence, quote unquote, and said, fuck black men. They lost their role. So black men, for us, we have to correct black women every chance we get, because when they go out of place and when they get out of pocket, they think it's cool and sexy to disrespect us. Literally. They think it's cool and sexy to disrespect us. And I ain't going for that. And I love black women. I love black women. I appreciate black women. Their role is key for what they do. But when they go outside their role, things become fucked up.
And I'll say this, not just black women, black American women are the sexiest women on the fucking planet. I don't think they realize how much we really do love them. But I'm gonna tell you what's happening. Look, black woman, when you look at a black man, don't just think it's about what he can provide. The black man have more metaphysical implications, more spiritual implications. If you think about it, men in general, right? You don't have to just talk about, and well, fuck that. We can just talk about the black man in this sense. Our ingenuity, right? What about the 50,000 patents that black men and women created together in this country? Like, we have ingenuity. We can create. The world wouldn't be nothing without us. Even us as a collective, the world wouldn't be nothing without
Facts.
us.
And see, they can't take it because see, black women, every time when we try to better them, we try to put them on game, they run away. They run away. Even rich girl. I said, rich girl, my love, come join the conversation. And she said no, because see, black women always want to dictate shit. You can't dictate black men shit. You can't.
Oh, and they fighting against it. That's why they fighting against Trump. Trump is literally Trump is literally gay right now, for real. Trump is literally gay right now, bro, because he attacking all the issues that plagued us as black men. He literally attacking all those issues, the welfare system, the housing system, all of that have played a part into, you know, our potential demise. I don't think they can ever destroy us. But yeah, they can get us to the point where we at now, right? We look, man, we at the bottom. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, right? In this world, but I know we are above this world. I know more spiritual things about us as being black men, not men, but black fucking men. And I asked myself, I'm 48 years old, man, and I asked myself this question 30 years ago. Why do everybody hate us? Everybody, black women, every fucking body hate us, bro. You know,
Facts.
and then I started to like think about it, man. Look, we the most athletic, we the most attractive men on the planet, black American men. And look, I gave the same props to American women. Black American women are the sexiest women on the fucking planet. Nobody can deny that. They're the most beautiful women on the fucking planet. Nobody
Facts.
can deny that. But at the same time, we are too. We are the most beautiful men. We are the most exotic men. We got the most vibe. We got the most rhythm. We got the most game. We the pimps. Come on now. I mean, come on now. I'm not trying to make something of that, but I'm just saying, we got the gag to speak. We know how to use words. We know how to use everything about us.
Yes,
So,
sir.
and that's what everybody hate about us, man. Because, the simple fact is, man, we've been endowed with all aspects of God, right? You can't, when I say that, I mean, when you use the example of Jesus walking across water or something like that, right? The black man runs so fast, he might as well walk across water. That's the point, right? Is that in everything about us, we are better. We are better. I do not care. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm cool with what you're doing, man. Cutting them off. Right? No,
Facts.
we're not going to let you spew another bad word against black men.
And she not realizing I only cut her off quickly for a question. I asked a question because I knew what type of black woman she is. So like when I sense the kind of black woman she is, I challenged it with a quick question because I said, and I quote, I'm gonna ask you this quick question and then you can continue saying what you're saying. As soon as I asked, are your husband in charge of the marriage? She lost her shit. She lost her cool.
We look. I hate to say it, probably with a white tee, man. Let's keep it
Shit.
real. 'Cause if because that's what you was pointing out. Her avoidance. She trying to deflect and run away from the questions and stuff like that. And that's what people don't understand about dialogues. When you're having dialogues, there's going to be questions. And the ancient mystery schools in Egypt, when the students was talking with the sages and stuff like that, the sages were interrupting, asking questions, and then the student was able to interrupt and ask questions. That's how you have a dialogue. And if you as intelligent as you think you is, you should be able to handle that type of pressure. When somebody
Fact.
just interject, ask a question, you should be able to answer that question and then continue to where you was going on before you was interjected on. You know, like you said, these black women, they want to look. I listen to so many panels. I'll just sit there and listen. How the black men let black women just totally dominate the conversation, completely dominate the conversation. I'll just be like, Lord have mercy. What are we doing here? We've let black women lead this community for 70 years. And I pointed that out earlier. Right? The black woman will sit up there and still argue with me and say the black man is not doing enough. But you've been leading the community for 70 years, and all we saying as a black man is that if you want to put me in that lead, so even when I look at this question, I'm going to answer it like this. I'm saying you stay out my business as a black man, because if you in a relationship with me and you put me in that lead position and I'm leading our family or our lineage or our generations towards a direction, you should nurture that. Now, it's not my fault that the society pointed so many black men in errant directions and to dead ends and nowhere to go and all that stuff. But if you listen to me as a black woman right now, you can see that my direction is not to a dead end. My direction is to eternity. So why can't you nurture the nature of the eternity I want to get to with you and my family, which I know is more true than you trying to get to a bag that when you pass away, if you got a cajillion dollars, you can't take none of that shit with you.
Facts.
Right. That's what you want me to live my life on. So I guess, but this is what I'm saying. The black woman has to have the discernment too. For the difference between the YN and the person that's more spiritual. Or the person that is trying to get a bag along with you, and then you still have the inability to work with that person because your ass been propped up just like white tea supremacy. That's how I see it. The black woman is the arm of white tea supremacy against the family.
That's true. And I believe this. Black women, they connect so much with the white man. If we've been all the way 100, they connect so much with the white man because they compare their black man to a white man because they know the white man got their shit together and they doing their thing. So they expect their black man to do their thing as well. But see, black women don't understand, like, the hardest thing in the world, the hardest thing in the whole entire world is being a black man.
And I got the evidence, dude. I've been suing these motherfuckers for 20 years. I've been suing these white supremacists for 20 years. I literally had like 3 or 4 new lawsuits I could have been pursuing, but just because I don't have the time for it, or I'm just tired of looking at law books and stuff like that, it just going and suing these people. I just said, fuck it. I'm not gonna sue nobody. Let me try to do something else. But
Hey, what's up?
oh, you got somebody new. Go ahead. We've been talking for a while. Look, bro, I followed you. I hope you followed me back, bro. I think if we
Yeah,
can,
I think I did, but I mean, I will anyways. But yeah, rock. What's your take on black women need to stay out of black men's business?
I'm not black, so I don't really have much of a dog in this fight.
Well, fuck it. Do you think women need to stay out of men business?
Uh, what do you mean by like it's such a
You know what
vague?
I mean by that. If let's just say if you tell a kid to stay out of grown folks' business, right? You know what that means,
No, but
right?
like, is this like your wife? Is that what you're talking about, or a random woman?
No, in general.
he's not black, man. He don't understand that.
Yeah. But he know though. But he knows. So basically, so if I say rock, do you think your wife should stay out of your business?
Uh, I guess I don't know what that means.
Oh shit.
I, it's not like it's such a vague like.
That means you're not the man in a relationship. That's basically, are you the man in a relationship or not? Is she holding one of your balls or both of your balls?
Hey, the only time my balls get held is when she's sucking.
Well, you sound like the man. That's what we talking about.
Let's
Are
go.
you the
That's what we
man?
talking about.
Well, like, okay, no, but like when I say stay out of my business, like, you know, like, okay, if I'm going out, right, like, obviously, like, people should communicate where they're going and stuff like that, right? But if you're saying, like, she's gonna tell me what to do or something like that, then no.
That part. That part. So I
So
feel
do
you.
you
So that means
understand
you're
where
like
black men coming from when they asking these questions?
What?
Whatever you know about black women, just say, and whatever you know about black women and black relationships, do you think is a problem for black men that black women is in our business?
So, like, they're trying to, like, tell you, oh, you need to do this a certain way, or, like, they
But they
correct you?
do. That's what we're saying. They do. Do you know that they do that shit?
No.
They do that shit every day. Look, this is what I'm saying. They want us to be like you, right? But we can't be like you because we don't have the power to be like you. And I don't think they know the difference between when they go to work and the white boss tell them what to do and they do it without question, and that when they come home they bitch at us about not making enough money and this,
Oh,
that,
I
and
get.
other.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Okay, it sounds like you're not getting together with submissive women.
That's fair.
ooh,
I
So
like
that
that
it
answer.
is.
that's. I mean,
That's a
that's kind of
that's
on
a great
you.
ass answer.
Yeah, that's kind of on you. Like, I mean, I would not marry a woman who does not submit to me. Like, for instance, if we're getting married and she refuses to take my last name, we're not getting married.
That's what's up. See, that's a real man shit. That's a real man shit. I fuck with
That's
that.
all we've been talking about. You know what? And like none of the women could get close to the concept of that, right? That you take his last name. What does that mean? You give up your last name, your family name. Women have to do that in marriage, obviously, right? But there's a reason for it because the man take precedent in the relationship. and that's what all the host was saying, is that the man is the president in the relationship. He is the head of the household.
Right, exactly. Do you ever get do you guys ever get women up here?
We had like women up here, and that was disrespectful and toxic.
Right.
Well, no, well, I take that back. Like one woman wasn't, and it was Nicole. She wasn't toxic. She kept it classy. She kept it classy.
No, because
Extremely toxic. I think.
if a man
Go
is
ahead.
giving you provision and protection, is doing his job, then it is your job as a woman to make sure that his food is there for you. Like the food is out, the kids are gonna get taken care of. And that doesn't mean that like the man can't help out around the house or anything like that. But that shouldn't be his primary goal, just as, the woman should not be going out and working. Really.
Well, well, Nicole brought up earlier when I said like Nicole, she kept it professional. She was the definition of a classy woman. So shout out to Nicole. But Rock, to your point, now now with me, my woman, she not gonna work unless she works for me. She have to know her role at all times. She have to cook. She gotta clean.
Right.
Ain't no back and forth because I'm the king. I'm the Lion King. So what I say go, and she's gonna do her role not only to serve me but to respect me.
Are you married?
No, I'm not for the time being. You married?
I'm not.
Chickpea, you're married?
Never and never will. Especially in this society, bro. Because look, here's the thing. I think, particularly black women, this is their biggest issue. Is that black men have options, right? So even as much as I love black women, if I couldn't never go outside of my race because of the spiritual implications, and that's the only reason why I'm single.
What do you mean
But
spiritual implications?
there's more metaphysical implications to marrying outside of your race.
Right, and I'm asking you,
Look,
what does that mean?
I don't have a problem with it. I let people be their own people, right? But here's the problem that I have, say with a biracial person. The biracial person will try to argue with me that the history of me as a black man that is not biracial shouldn't have the same problems that he may necessarily, or she may necessarily not experience because they're biracial. We know there's a